Hello and welcome to the Triangle. This is our last episode of the semester, so we want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy new year. We'll be back after the first of the year. I'm here with TJ Hopkins. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball, a little bit of college football, and a little bit of the NBA, and then finally the NFL. We're going to first start with baseball. The winter meetings have been this week. So we're from Chicago, so we want to talk about the Chicago stuff. So the White Sox made basically a fire sale, and I think they're going to trade even more players before it's all said and done. How do they do, and do you think? How would you grade their winter meeting so far? How did they do?
Talking about the White Sox?
Yeah, the White Sox.
Well, I have to give it. Well, since they're not done yet, I have to give it at least a solid B.
I think you gotta go with the A, man. They got
I give it a solid B.
They basically robbed the Nationals of. I mean, they got I don't think the White Sox really even wanted him that bad. I mean, he was a problem everywhere else he's ever been in baseball, and he wasn't really like that much in Chicago. And they gave him three really good prospects and a pitcher who's been in the league a while.
I mean, it is what it is. The prospect they got back, they were nice. Especially Makata.
That was for the Chris Sale trade, but yeah, they did a nice job with that. They got a top 100 top 100 prospects to go with Tim Anderson, who's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
And if they trade, let's say they trade Quintana and they trade Todd Frazier and get even more prospects, I think this could be
start of something.
Yeah, 5 years from now, we're talking about maybe the White Sox being somewhat competitive. Yeah.
Well, like I said, they're not done yet, so we got a long way to go. Well, not really, but they're gonna have to do a lot in a very short amount of time because spring training starts in the next few months. So
yeah, I mean, if they get able to flip Todd Frazier for another nice piece, and then if they get Jose Quintana, maybe they keep him and build around him.
Or him or Abreu.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think Abreu's going anywhere though.
Yeah, his name hasn't really even come up.
No, never heard anything.
They talk about Quintana and they talk about Frazier. They don't talk about Bobby Abreu.
Jose
Abreu, yeah.
Call me Bobby.
Yeah.
And on the north side, the defending champs, we lose Dexter Fowler, but that was expected. I thought he was going to sign with Toronto, but he signed
I think the Cubs knew that he was a rental player for one season when he signed that massive offer sheet with Baltimore last year.
No, he signed with. He was going to sign with them, but the Cubs matched the offer.
No, I think he last second he just signed a 1-year deal with the Cubs. In the final hour, he had that a verbal agreement with Baltimore, and then he just last second he said I'm gonna go to the. I think they knew he was a 1-year rental. He's gonna help us win a World Series, and then he's gonna get his money.
Anyway, but the Cubs offered him another contract, and he turned it down. And I thought I always thought that he was gonna go, but I thought he was gonna go to Toronto because I thought.
Does it hurt you guys a little bit to know that he went to St. Louis?
No,
the rival.
No, not
You're gonna see him a bunch.
Well, we're going to see him, but you can say the same thing. You can ask the same thing to Cardinals fans when Jason Hayward left.
I think the Cardinals fans were salty.
Yeah. So it's
so you're not going to be salty?
No. I mean, Dexter Fowler, he is forever enriched in Chicago history. He is
the home run, the open up Game 7.
Yeah, he forever gets a pass in the city of Chicago.
So when he comes back, the first time he comes back to Chicago, you think they cheer him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands down. And like I said, we lost Chapman, but that was
everybody knew that.
Everybody knew that he was gonna go to.
Man, the Yankees got a top flight prospect from you guys, and then he just goes back there.
Yep. I mean, he is now the highest paid closer in baseball history. So this, and when you think about that, we think of some of the great closers in the game. The first name that comes to mind is Mariano Rivera. He's getting more money than Mariano Rivera.
That's because the money now is just so absorbent, so ridiculous. That's the only reason the money's like that.
And he throws 105 miles an hour.
Yeah, but he's kind of a loose cannon when it comes to the rest of his life.
But we lose Chapman, we get Wade Davis, who's a very solid closer out of Kansas City. He helped them win the World Series a few years back.
I think I read something that the Cubs now have the players that got the last 3 outs in the last 3 World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
What'd you say?
They got the players that got the last 3 outs in the last 3 World Series. They have Wade Davis, and then they got the guy Mike Montgomery, and then they got somebody else.
Well, Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Well, Chris Bryant got the last. Well, Rizzo got the last.
No, pitched the last out.
Oh, pitched the last out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Davis, Mike Montgomery, and there was somebody else.
I didn't hear anybody else, but yeah. I mean, so far so good for both baseball teams actually.
Yeah, the Cubs just get better and better. Like they had Wade Davis. The guy had a zero ERA when the Royals won the World Series. 0.
Yeah.
He didn't let a single run.
He didn't give up. He didn't give up too much, but yeah, like I'm looking forward to the season. So I'm just waiting to see what the rest of the moves both teams make. So yeah,
I think the Cubs are done. I don't know what else they can really. They may sign that pitcher from Japan who's like 40 years old. I think that could happen. But I think the White Sox, I think, are still like this is just the start.
Yes, just the start. But everyone's talking about Red Sox Cubs World Series.
I can see it.
2017.
That pitching staff for the Red Sox is pretty good. David Price,
Brian Cashman, he's a Yankees GM. He called them the Golden State Warriors of baseball. Like that, he talking about their rotation. And when you look at it, like, you got Porcello, and then you got David Price, and now you add Chris Sale, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, because that's what really stunk about like the White Sox having Chris Sale and having nobody else. Like you could basically just like, oh, we're gonna lose this game, whatever. Like Chris Sale's gonna beat us. So if we get one run, we'll probably win.
Like we're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, the White Sox,
They're, like you said, the Cubs might be done making moves, but the White Sox, they're probably, like you said, just getting started. But at the same time, the Cubs really don't have to make that many moves. They don't have to make too much. Like in years past, like the Cubs, they were doing what the White Sox were doing now, trading dudes, getting prospects, and
yeah, I mean, I think the White Sox are giving up this idea that you could just like sign a couple players as free agent, and
it's
you'd be
about
like,
time.
Like you can like just sign a few players, and make your fans kind of happy. No, we
about
gotta like
time.
fire sale. You gotta start over. You gotta like build it from the ground up.
It's about time because that only worked for them one time, and it worked that one time. And they've been trying to do it ever since. And
Yeah,
it's like
trying to recatch that fire in a pan, but
lightning in a bottle. It's just like no, that's not how that works. Like
yeah, you're supposed to build. Like you're supposed to build a team. Like like the Packers, they build their team.
through the
You know,
draft.
yeah. They don't sign a bunch of players and give everybody a bunch of money and then expect it all to work out.
All right, it's supposed to work. All right, sign this guy. It's gonna work. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not how that works.
Let's move over to the NBA. So LeBron passed Alvin Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alvin Hayes for 9th all time in scoring. How high do you think he gets?
Top 5.
Top 5. I think he gets past everybody but Kareem.
I don't.
I think he's gonna play for another 10 years.
I don't even think he plays that long.
How much longer do you think LeBron has? How much longer do we get to watch the greatness that is LeBron James and enjoy him?
5 to 7.
He's gonna be retired in 5 years.
5 to 7.
He's gonna be retired in 5 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of I mean, don't get me wrong. He does a great job in keeping his body in shape. He does a great job of that, and I'm just like, no, that's 5 to 7. I'm like, that's a lot of miles on his body. Coming in the league at 18, and then playing however many minutes he plays a game, and then on top of that, he's been in the postseason run since 2008, 7, 8.
Even before that, even he went deep with those other Cavs teams before he joined the Miami Heat. He's basically been playing basketball every season all the way deep as you can go, basically since he got into the league.
So it's like when he first round in Cleveland, when he started making those playoffs, those Cleveland teams started making the playoffs, you had going into at least the second round.
Yeah, every year.
And then he gets eliminated. And then 2007 he went to the finals. And then 2008
they lost to the Magic.
They lost to Boston.
Yeah, and then the year after that they lost to the Magic.
Yeah, in the conference finals.
Yeah.
And then that's when he went to Miami.
No, they might not have made it to the conference finals. They got bounced by Orlando. And then Orlando and Boston played in the conference finals, I think, that season.
Was that the season? Either way, whatever year Boston went to the finals and then whatever it was, Boston, Orlando, Boston. That's when
Yeah.
That's when Cleveland, LeBron lost in
The year after that, he went to Miami.
Went out to that, and then every year after that, he's been in the finals.
Yeah.
So it's like
He's been busy.
And on top of that, you got every 4 years the Olympics.
Yeah, but he didn't play in this Olympics.
He didn't play in this Olympics. But
I think his Olympic career is over.
I don't know. Like, who's to say? I think 5 to 7, he might be. LeBron might hang him up because that's a lot of.
7 years, I can see that. 7 years, he'll be like 38 at the time.
5 to 7. So like, and his 2 sons.
But if he has seven, if he plays 7 more seasons. Let's say he scores 2,000 points a season. That'll put him at number 1.
But I don't think he'll have to do that though because he's not even leading the team in scoring right now.
It's the first time in his career he hasn't led a team that he's on in scoring.
So like that must be a nice change of pace for him. So.
Well, I mean, he's got Kyrie Irving. I mean, Kyrie Irving's big time.
And
Kyrie Irving takes a lot of the burden off LeBron now that LeBron's a little bit older. He can kind of reserve himself for big dunks and highlight plays and flipping water bottles and stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. But he's at 27,315 points right now. The all-time leader is Kareem with 38,387.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar also played until he was 41.
True that, but I mean, no, I give him 5 to 7, and then like you got. That's a lot of miles, and on top of that, he might want to he has other adventures outside of basketball.
Yeah, but like, at what point do you like? What point does he walk away? Does he want to get 6 rings? Like,
there's no point. There's no point.
There's no point in getting 6 rings.
No, like he's talking about chasing the ghost, and the ghost is Jordan, but that's a ghost you'll never catch.
I think LeBron is gonna be in the conversation of like GOAT when it's all said and done.
When it's
a wrap.
When it's a wrap, yeah, he'll be in the conversation, but. As far as catching the goat, like no.
I think the trio of goats that he'll be like one of those 4 guys that people talk about. You talk about like when you talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, like he's gonna be one of those guys that you talk about as like has potentially being the greatest player ever.
Oh, definitely. But
him, Magic, Mike, Kareem, and LeBron.
Definitely.
They'll be like a Mount Rushmore.
But I say he cracks top 5. Like
Scoring. I think
number 5.
I think if he doesn't get 1, I think he'll be number 2.
He gets 5.
2.
No.
Because I mean, Kareem has what is he like? Like how many points is he above Karl? It's a lot. He played a long time when he probably should have been retired.
And so did Karl Malone.
Yeah, but Karl Malone was just. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So did Karl Malone. But yeah, I give him 5. Like if he passes Jordan to be 4th and move Jordan down to 5, I think he'll be happy with that. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. I think he's gonna get. I think it's gonna get close. I think it'll be interesting. I think he can. If he plays for another 7 years, I think he'll get close to the 38. Real close.
5 to 7, then he hangs him up. Because like at that point, he could retire right now and still be in that conversation. He has nothing. He has nothing to prove. He's done everything.
Yeah, but he's never. I'm sure there's other things he can still do.
Like what?
Average a triple double.
No, if it hasn't happened.
He could do it.
If
LeBron decided he wanted to average a triple double for a season.
Do that.
Like he just woke up this morning. He's just like, you know what? I want to average a triple double this season. He can just do it.
But he won't do it.
He will do it.
He won't do it.
You don't think he wakes up and thinks about averaging a triple double?
No, because in his mind that's selfish. Because at that point he's going out there.
That stat chasing.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that.
Is that your issue with like the Westbrook stuff?
No, because Westbrook has to do that.
But you were talking to me about like the fact that people don't think that's a good way to play. Is that the reason? Like because of the stat chasing?
I mean,
is it because like it looks like Westbrook is chasing these stats over team victories?
Oh, I don't consider it stat chasing.
Let's move on to the stat chasing stuff.
I don't consider it stat chasing when it's him and Harden and they're getting triple doubles left and right and their teams are winning.
But the Oklahoma City Thunder are not like they just came off a 6-game winning streak, but they're not playing like great basketball.
But at the same time, like Westbrook, he has to do that in order for the Thunder to even be competitive.
Because Jeff Van Gundy brought up an interesting point yesterday, because he thinks because these people are like talking about these stats so much and they throw stats out all the time, that takes away the brilliance of what these players are. They just become stats. They don't you lose how good they are. They're just like, oh yeah, this guy's averaged a triple double, but you don't watch the incredible play that they pull out every single night. Look at Westbrook. Look how sweaty he is. He looks so tired at the end of a game.
He just doesn't stop.
James Harden was like, yeah, that guy doesn't stop. He just keeps going and going and going.
doesn't and like that's just like the difference between if LeBron was to average a triple double with the team he has now. That would be stat chasing because he doesn't need to average a triple double to win. Westbrook has to Westbrook and Harden.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to get 10 rebounds. He has other players that could rebound for his basketball teams. Like he's got a Steven.
Well, maybe that's Billy Donovan's philosophy. Like everybody crashes the boards. Like,
yeah, I mean,
because I don't like when they're balls up for a rebound. Like I don't just see him going for a rebound.
Yeah.
I see everybody, and like it just so happens that he gets it more often than everybody else. Like he gets a lot of long ball rebounds. He gets a lot like.
It's because they're shooting a lot of threes in the NBA.
Like everybody shoots a lot of threes in the
Especially
NBA.
the Rockets.
So it's like
they went 11 for 40, something like that. 11 for 40
last
yesterday.
night.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like,
They just kept shooting them. So you
like
you missed 33s and you just
and you still won. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, they hit it. They didn't. No, James Harden didn't have a good game and they still won.
Still won. And like Westbrook didn't have a good game either, but that's what
But
I'm
he still had.
getting.
Like that's the other thing. Like Westbrook didn't have a good game, but people are like, oh yeah, triple double. He didn't play that good.
He didn't. But
It's like, oh, but he got a triple double. But yeah, the triple double that he got was so relevant because of the rest of his play. Like he hit a ton of turnovers.
he had 8.
Yeah, he had a ton of turnovers. And so when you have 10 assists, but you turn it over 8 times, you really only 2 assists.
That's not a good ratio. No.
That's horrible.
But it's like I can't fault Westbrook for doing what he's doing. Like I said, he has to. And if people don't want him to average a triple double, then his teammates have to, like the rest of the team has to step up.
And what's crazy about it, there's also crazy about it, like when James Harden is getting his triple doubles, like he's surrounded by shooting. Like Westbrook doesn't have that going on. He's got like Steven Adams, who's like a dunker, and he's got a little bit of a post game.
Enes Kanter has a little bit of a
Did he even play? I don't think he even played a lot last night.
I didn't watch the game, so
yeah, I don't think he played a lot last night. I don't remember seeing him.
Oladipo's shooting is spotty. Roberson's not.
Andre Robertson shoots a higher percentage from 3 than he does from the free throw line.
Sad.
It's impossible. Like how can that be a thing? You're like,
is Cameron Payne? Is he healthy?
No, he's hurt. Still,
like he could be a potential shooter. Sabonis, he's a
I think
rookie.
I think they're waiting for Cameron Payne to get injured or get healthy so they can trade him. Yep.
But,
I think Rudy Gay is going to be coming there once he gets healthy.
I mean, if they have to pull that off, then maybe his numbers go down a little. I don't know how.
I don't know if Rudy Gay at this point in his career is
like I don't know
like a dominant player.
I mean, he's still a threat. Like it's
he's still Rudy Gay. I mean, he's still a very good basketball player.
Still a wing threat. So yeah, stat chasing it's different when you have to do it, like when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Brian don't have to stat chase.
But I think when they have like kids that watch this stuff, they like all of a sudden they'll go out and be like, oh, I'm gonna chase all these stats. I'm gonna like.
But at the same time, like there are other players for them to watch that. You know that aren't Westbrook.
And not to mention, like if you play basketball like way Westbrook does, you're probably going to be because you're going to give it everything you got every single time you're on the court. And if you like establish that kind of work ethic, that can't be bad.
That can take you anywhere.
Yeah, like if you have just play harder than everybody else you play with, like you're going to be probably pretty good.
That can take you anywhere. But it's like for kids these days, it's more so. Like I wish they were more so focused on actual fundamentals and like the very beginning as opposed to like watching Steph Curry pull up from 30 and then going outside like, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too. Like no, he started off hugging the 3-point line, shooting shooting hundreds of shots from there, and then back it up. He just didn't wake up one morning, hey, I can shoot the ball from 30 feet. And make it like
yeah, I mean, but that's kind of what coaches like. That's what your like intramural coaches are for, like to teach them. But like the NBA, like you're like an NBA player now. What do you want? Why do you want to like? I think people who watch basketball understand that like these guys are not like normal people who play basketball. Like I'm not going to be doing stuff like that. Like no. Let's move on though to the Phil Jackson Melo beef. So this is getting a little hard to watch at times. Like Carmelo, that interview, Carmelo.
I'm glad he's gonna walk off. I'm glad he didn't, because it's worse if he was. It would have looked worse for him to walk off instead of
I didn't see it.
Question. Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Carmelo Anthony, dude. Phil Jackson brings you here, and like Phil Jackson, like did you not know what you were signing up for?
Well, he didn't bring him. Melo got there before he.
No.
Yeah.
Melo got the contract extension from Phil Jackson.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
And if you did not want Carmelo Anthony, why extend him? Because I don't know if he's new here or like doesn't know. Carmelo Anthony shoots the basketball a lot because he wants the ball because he's a good player, and he's a little bit of a ball hog because he has to do a lot. He's Carmelo Anthony.
He's had to do a lot with a little
and Phil Jackson
for the bulk of his career. Outside that 1 year with Denver,
AI?
with him and AI went to the
Chauncey.
Yeah, they went to the conference finals. Like so outside of that, Melo's had to do a lot. Well, outside the 2 years he had with Billups and then the 1 year he had with AI, he's had to do a lot with a little.
And Carmelo Anthony, I don't know, I don't understand I don't understand Phil Jackson talking a lot, all of a sudden, he's getting in beef with LeBron, which LeBron obviously wasn't happy about, and he showed them that I'm not playing around, Phil Jackson.
I mean, with Phil, Phil gotta go.
I think they both need to go.
I think Phil has to go. It's like he hires, like you said, he brings Melo in, and then he hires a coach with Derek Fisher, who's had no coaching experience whatsoever, and then you
fire him.
You fire him, and then you prevent Kurt Rambis from getting a college coaching job, which he really wanted, and then you make him the interim head coach after you fire Derek Fisher. And now you bring in Jeff Hornacek, and all this is you are so heavy on implementing the triangle when you had 3 coaches, Fisher, Rambis, and now Hornacek, come to tell you hey, it doesn't work. It doesn't in today's NBA. It doesn't work.
I also think the NBA, if you're the Knicks, I think you need to as long as Carmelo Anthony is on the team, it's his team, and I think they want to feature Porzingis a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Then this was the other thing that's great. You gave Carmelo Anthony a no trade clause, so you can only trade him where he wants to go. What are you gonna do with him? Where are you, neither of those I think they both got to go, but I think Phil Jackson for sure.
Phil has to go for sure. I kind of feel like looking back when Melo was a free agent before he signed the deal with Denver. I'm pretty sure looking back, he was like, "Hey, I understand 120 mil is 120 mil, but I probably should have signed with the Bulls because
mm-hmm.
he wouldn't have to deal with Phil and all this.
He wouldn't have to deal with Tom Thibodeau yelling at him a lot, but
no, not at all. And
playing him a billion minutes.
I kind of feel I would feel like Hoiberg's system kind of fits Melo's play style more.
Well, yeah, but Fred Hoiberg wasn't the coach then.
He would have been.
No, he wouldn't.
They still would have got rid of. I kind of
Tom Thibodeau would probably want to ring with Carmelo Anthony.
You think so?
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony, dude. Yeah, you bring him into Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Carmelo Anthony. I know it's not working in New York, but that's 5 years from moved from them being productive players.
But it's it's Phil has to go. In this situation, he calls out he makes absurd comments about LeBron and his friends, and then he comes up with this, excuse my language, this half-ass apology to LeBron, and it's all maybe my language could have been better. It's then you're not really sorry about what you said. You said what you said and you meant what you said, but and then you put your product on the team on the court against LeBron's product on the court, and then you get beat by 30. So yeah, and Mark Jackson, he was LeBron and his posse came to play tonight. Eat that.
And then you call out you call out your best player. I don't get it. Why?
The triangle work, but he holds the ball. He holds the ball too long. In the triangle offense, you have to the ball can't be in your hands for more than 2 seconds. Otherwise, everyone stops moving and starts watching.
Carmelo Anthony is a big time player, and I don't understand. I feel bad for Carmelo Anthony, dude. I just feel horrible for him. He's at the end of his prime, and the only thing he has to hang his hat on is the fact that he's been the most dominant Olympic player in the history of United States basketball.
That's it.
That is it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the triangle isn't a mix of ISO and
it's predicated on a dominant wing player, a point guard, and a center.
Okay.
And you kind of run it like
a triangle.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance Melo's gonna have the ball in his hands most of the time, anyway.
But even those Laker teams, even the Laker teams ran like a hybrid of the original triangle. It wasn't quite the same as what it is now.
Because every big man can't be Shaq.
But yeah, they just don't have the players to pull off this philosophy that Phil Jackson thinks what does he want? Like, what does he want? What does he want? Like, Derrick Rose hasn't played in like 3 games.
Like, he wants to.
Oh, whatever.
So like he wants Hornacek.
He signed Joakim Noah has like no game at all left. Like, he looks terrible.
Like, he wants Hornacek to run his system or implement the triangle within his system. It's like, that's not how that's not gonna work. Like,
you should just coach the team and then just
like, exactly. Like, if you're so adamant,
if you're gonna rule like with an iron fist,
like if you're so adamant about running the triangle, then dude, don't hire another coach. Coach the team yourself. Because at this point, like, you're so.
How long do you think James Dolan allows this madness to go on before he's like?
James Dolan could possibly be one of the worst owners.
I know.
Not in the NBA, but in sports.
I know, yeah. Like, But this is the funny thing. Like, usually he meddles to the point where he's like destructive to his own team. Like, we haven't heard anything from him since Phil Jackson took over. Like, there's no James Dolan. He's not hearing from him. We're not talking about him. Like, where James Dolan? Come on, this is your thing.
Like,
get involved.
Like, if there was ever a time to meddle, it would be right now.
Right?
If there was ever a time to meddle, it would be right now. But like, when you look back on it, James Dolan he hasn't made the best coaching decisions.
Well, yeah, he gave Isaiah Thomas a bunch of power and a bunch of
to be honest, his worst decision as an owner was probably firing Mike Woodson.
Oh no, dude! His worst decision was giving Isaiah Thomas all the power.
No, like, it was.
that was bad. The Stephon Marbury, Eddie Curry.
But it's like that was the last time the Knicks were even in the playoffs when Mike Woodson coached.
I know.
Them to 54 wins, and then Melo went to the second round, and they lost to a Pacer team that they shouldn't have lost to. They shouldn't have lost to that. They should have. No, they shouldn't.
They had the Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert had a big block in that one game.
Roy Hibbert is a waste of height.
Oh, dude, don't be disrespectful.
I'm being disrespectful. You're like.
Love Roy Hibbert.
Why?
Why? He was on my fantasy team that one year.
I don't care, but like,
I didn't win anything with him, but I still enjoy him.
Like, bottom line,
what's he doing in Charlotte? Is he doing good?
Care? No. Bottom line, Melo. When you said both of them has to go, I think Phil Jackson goes.
The problem is that Melo isn't going anywhere.
No, exactly. So Phil's gonna go.
He's got a full no trade clause.
Phil's gonna go way before Melo goes. At the end of the day,
where would you trade? Maybe they trade him to. Maybe they trade him to like New Orleans and give like
Anthony Davis. But they know Anthony Davis gonna no.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
What would you have to give? What would you? They were both over the cap, so you'd have to like make the contracts match.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money to match.
And Anthony Davis's contract is bigger than
Carmelo's
contract.
No, we're not trading Carmelo Anthony for Anthony Davis.
But if I'm the Knicks and like that's if I'm the Knicks and I'm giving up my superstar, what am I gonna give? I'm just gonna give you a superstar and not get anything valuable in return.
2 first-round picks, the right to swap in the second season, Tyreek Evans, and Amara Ashik.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, now you're just trying to.
Buddy Hield, Drew Holiday, and there we go. Drew Holiday, Amara Ashik, Tyreek Evans, and Buddy Hield.
And 3 future first-round picks.
Yeah, and right to swap 1 year.
Right to swap one year.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think that's a good enough deal?
For Carmelo Anthony, no. Considering Tyreek Evans' injury history, Amir Ashik is another Joakim Noah who can't really do too much of nothing.
He could back up Porzingis.
And that's supposed to be Noah's job, but he hasn't even been doing that right. And Buddy Hield just needs to. You kind of feel like with a team like New Orleans, the way that team is shaped, that Buddy Hield would have a coming out party, but it's not really working too well for him.
What about Drew Holiday? Come on, Drew Holiday's fun.
Drew Holiday, he's all right. Moving on.
All right, let's move on over to the college football, and we're gonna talk about the Heisman Trophy. So, who's gonna win?
is Lamar Jackson. He's still in that.
Yeah, he's still there.
Then Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna take Watson, but I think Lamar Jackson's played better than him. I just think Deshaun Watson has more Heisman moments. Like he's got that 6 touchdown game. Lamar Jackson kind of fumbled the game away, his Heisman Trophy away.
I don't think so.
Down the stretch, that game against Kentucky where he fumbled, and he had a lot of picks in that game,
like,
and he got blown out by Houston.
Okay, like on that part, that's not just him. That
Yeah, I know, but like when you win the Heisman, like you have a moment. Like he doesn't have that moment.
So when Tim Tebow got blasted by Alabama, did he still win the Heisman that year?
No.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford won the Heisman that year.
No.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Tim Tebow's a 2-time Heisman winner.
No, you talking about when they went to Oklahoma in the national championship game?
No, I'm talking about like when Tim Tebow got like destroyed by Alabama. He came on.
Oh yeah,
in the post game,
cried,
and he made that like the most like the quote unquote most passionate speech, and he like you will never see another player in this country.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what's the difference? Like he losing to Alabama.
Yeah, but
he lost to Alabama.
Let's not compare. You're comparing Kentucky losing to Kentucky,
but no, it's
with him losing to Alabama.
I'm not. It's the 3 games that they lost. It's the loss to Clemson, and then the back-to-back loss, or then the loss to Houston, then the loss to
Kentucky.
Like those 3.
First time the Kentucky's ever beat a team in the top 25.
Like those 3 losses equal that one loss to Alabama.
No, it doesn't. No,
yes,
dude.
it does. Like when you look at his numbers, like
I know he's responsible for like more touchdowns than anybody
51.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
He's thrown 30 and he's ran for 20. Like he's thrown like 31 and he's
I think
if
20. I just think Louisville doesn't have
51. If Lamar Jackson doesn't win the Heisman, then that's highway robbery times 10. Like, don't get me wrong, like Deshaun Watson, like he's like.
I think those are the only 2 guys in the conversation. By the way, like it's him and Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson.
Say like Jabril Peppers,
No.
D.D. Westbrook, and
No.
Baker Mayfield. They just there just because they needed some spots to fill.
Yeah, it's like Jordan Lynch when he went that year.
Jordan Lynch put up numbers.
So did these guys.
And he still finished 3rd. Like he finished ahead of Johnny Football.
Good for him.
Johnny Football was a great college football player.
Yeah, he was. All right, that's great. I'm not arguing with you on that.
So if take away Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, and you have Peppers, Westbrook, and Baker Mayfield, who would you?
Mayfield.
Easily.
Yeah.
What does a defensive player have to do?
I don't know.
To win the Heisman.
I don't know.
Like
play offensive snaps a lot.
Like Charles Woodson remains the only defensive player to win
the
last defensive player to win the Heisman.
But he also played a lot on offense, and he had like touchdowns.
But that's not what he won the Heisman for.
But he won it because of the kick returning and like all the other stuff. The kid from USC has a chance to do it next year if he stays in school.
Dory Jackson.
Yeah.
So like if let's say Jabril Peppers, because he does a lot of miscellaneous for Michigan outside of playing.
If Ndamukong Suh, when he was in Nebraska, couldn't win the Heisman as a defensive player, nobody will.
Wow.
Nobody.
Like let's say like he had.
Ndamukong Suh was the player in college that season, and he didn't win.
Who won the Heisman that year?
Look it up.
Who won the Heisman that year? But like, let's say like Jabril Peppers. Let's say he would have had, I don't know, let's give him 85 tackles. He somehow manages to get 10 interceptions, throw in 8.5 sacks and like 5 forced fumbles. Like it's not Heisman.
No, Mark Ingram won the Heisman that year.
Mark Ingram won the Heisman that year.
Ndamukong Suh got less votes than Toby Gerhart and Colt McCoy.
Wow. So like if the Heisman Trophy is supposed to be awarded to, it's supposed to be the MVP, the best player in college football that year. If let's say systems like Louisville's, like Oregon's when Mariota won the Heisman, like systems that put up a lot of points quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Did Mariota win the Heisman?
He won the Heisman senior year.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's like, and Deshaun Watson last year, because he accounted for like
Yeah.
47. Like, so offense is like that. So it's like when I forgot what year Matt Tateo was nominated for the year Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. Matt Tateo finished, I think, second or third.
Yeah.
Sue finished second.
Sue finished fourth.
I'm sorry. It feels like
I just don't think defensive players can win it. I don't think they get enough. I don't think they get enough exposure.
Don't think so?
No, because they become like one person out of 11 when you're on a defense. Because it's really a collective group that like a defense, and on offense it's more. There's more solo stuff going on.
But at the same time, it's that 1 out of 11 on offense, just like that 1 out of 11.
Yeah, but I think like defense. I think it's different because defense relies on so many people doing their job correctly on defense that like because defense is already harder to play than offense because you're doing a lot of predictive stuff. Well, the offense already knows what they want to do, so you're trying to predict like all their movements, all their decisions, like based on like line adjustments and audibles, and like so you have to have everybody work as a collective unit, so that like that unit idea of a defense, especially since not a lot of those guys are going to go pro, so like I think that hurts any Heisman like candidate on the defensive end.
That's fair.
Ever, I just can't imagine it happening
so
again.
Charles Woodson,
yeah.
He's gonna be the last.
I mean, that kid from USC is pretty good. He's a kick returner, like he's a punt returner. Like, I think that's where you have to make your like a real impact if you're gonna win it as a solely defensive player. And Charles Woodson kind of did that. He was a kick returner, punt returner. He played offense a lot for them that year. He won the Heisman. Like that's what you kind of have to do.
All right.
Otherwise, you got no chance.
So yeah, staying with college football, Lane Kiffin. Houston AD or whoever was in charge.
One of their regions. I don't know.
One of their regions.
One of the names. I don't remember his name.
He said Lane Kiffin was too big a risk to bring in as a.
I think it's because I think it's really because he. I think people, like he went to Tennessee after like the debacle in Oakland. Like Al Davis has fired a lot of coaches, like Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, like all those guys. He never held a 45-minute press conference to fire that person, where he reads a letter.
Word for word.
Word for word, a letter.
Verbatim.
Yeah, he reads the letter verbatim. he yells like the whole time. Like it is. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it is 45 minutes of sparkling entertainment.
but if I'm Lane Kiffin and I am the offensive coordinator for Alabama and like Nick Saban, like why would you want to leave? Why would you want to go anywhere?
I think it's more because of like you always want to do something bigger. Like you always you don't want to be an OC like your whole job. You always want to be the top guy somewhere. Like you want to be the coach. Like, but I think it's ridiculous to think that he's going to go to Florida Atlantic. Like that was renounced that they're interested. I'm like, why would you go there? Why would you coach there? You're going to be in Alabama. You're going to have a chance to win a national title. What are you going to do at Florida Atlantic?
Try to compete for 500. Try to
Yeah.
No.
Maybe that's a good fit for Lane Kiffin. A team that doesn't have a lot of expectations.
But at the same time, like there are certain people out there that are just meant to be coordinators. Like they tried. Like Lane Kiffin is not a good head coach.
No.
I'm pretty sure if by the grace of God, if Nick Saban was to leave Alabama and Lane Kiffin would be promoted to the head coaching job, like the head coach at the University of Alabama, I'm pretty sure he'd find a way to mess it up.
I think he'd be okay.
He's that bad. Like I don't even think they would if Nick Saban were to leave. I don't even think they would consider
probably not.
Lane Kiffin for the job.
I think that, dude. I think people still think about that Raider thing. Like I think that's still something people think about when they think of Lane Kiffin. I know because you were a little bit younger, so you don't really remember how funny that was. But people think about Al Davis. He used to fire coaches every year.
When he the head coach at USC at one point?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's after Tennessee. After he dipped out on Tennessee. Okay. Remember, he said he was going to sing Mountaintop. He had that press conference, and they never beat Florida. He was there for one season, and then he just pieced. He's like, "Oh, USC job's open, I'm gone."
No, because at Tennessee, it was him and his father.
Yeah, Monty.
Because his father he was the defensive coordinator, and it just didn't work out.
Monty Kiffin is past his prime. So he's still DC somewhere though.
I think so, but he went to USC and
that didn't go well.
His most famous thing at USC when he was it was spring practice, and he's getting interviewed, and dude asked him one question, and he's like, I have to go. and he just walks right off, and it's just like
That's just like the story of like Lane Kiffin, like his Raider. Like, I have to go.
I have to go. Excuse me.
Tennessee, I have to go.
It's like, okay, and you can go because you're fired. But it's like if I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. I
was just hang tight. Like, you got a good gig.
like I'm just gonna stay right here, and if I'm just gonna stay right here till they fire me, and then after I get fired, I'm just gonna done.
No, but I think it's the idea of wanting to do something bigger, like than being an OC for a team that wins the national championship. Like, you want to do something bigger and better. So you want to be the head coach of a team. You want to have your own team, have your own philosophies.
And I get that, and he tried that, and he failed twice,
Three times
miserably.
Yeah.
The one time on the biggest stage that you can get.
Yeah. Lane, oh, man, I miss Al Davis. I wish he was still alive. Like, he was fun, dude. He was super senile at the end, dude, but it was great stuff.
The firing of Hugh Jackson says all of that.
But he fired it. Like, he fired a bunch of coaches like that. Like, every year, it was like
Oakland became a destination that you did not want to coach at.
Yeah, because you only had one season and you were gone. Yeah. Like, you didn't do really good in your one season, you were over. Dennis Allen, Hugh Jackson. Who was it? I'm sure there were others.
I'm definitely sure there were others, but it's irrelevant.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to the NFL. So every season, on average, 7 coaches get fired. So we're going to fire 7 coaches right now. And so you're going to give me your 7. We're going to go through and, kind of explain why you think they're going to get fired. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right,
number 1, Marvin Lewis. 14 years, no playoff wins, and you might not make the playoffs this year.
It won't make the playoffs this year?
Okay, you won't make the playoffs this year. So Marvin Lewis, job well done. You were
survived for 14 seasons.
You survived for 14. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a terrible coach. I'm not saying that at all. The pieces he's had around him, he's had some quality pieces around him. Like, he's had Carson Palmer, couldn't stay healthy. He had Chad Ochocinco. TJ Houshmandzadeh. He had
Chris Henry, may rest in peace.
Chris Henry, the potential of that dude, he could have been something special.
Yeah.
And then you had in the backfield, you had Rudy Johnson for a minute, and then couldn't really. Those teams couldn't get over the hump because.
I used to love Rudy Johnson.
Yeah, those teams couldn't get over the hump because the defense wasn't that good, and then your quarterback like Carson Palmer couldn't stay healthy. And Well, then you fast forward. Now everybody thought Cincinnati was gonna be done when they lost Palmer, and not only Palmer but Chad Johnson, because you drafted Andy Dalton, and then it's who you gonna throw the ball? I remember
Carson Palmer was threatening to retire.
Yeah, he was
he traded him to the. They got 2 first-round picks for that.
And their first-round pick was AJ Green, and it's just well, great. Who's gonna throw him the ball? They don't have anybody to throw the ball to. And then second round they get Andy Dalton. So it's
that Andy Dalton drafting, it looks like a steal.
It does.
Andy Dalton has been really good as a pro.
And it does, and then they pretty much have to rebuild, rebuild the offense a little in certain pieces.
I think offensively, the Bengals they're still as good now offensively as they used to be with Carson Palmer. You look at their weapons: AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert.
Imagine Tyler Eifert could stay healthy.
Yeah, and they got Giovanni Bernard. They got Jeremy Hill. Yeah, that's a good offense.
So the only problem remains the defense, and you've kind of done, and you've kind of
They have a pretty good defense.
You have a pretty good defense.
Pac-Man Jones, Vontez Burfict. They got.
Not a head case, and
when both of them aren't head cases.
Both of them aren't head cases, and
Geno Atkins.
14 years, no playoff wins. You're not gonna make the playoffs in your 15th year. It's time for a culture change in Cincinnati.
I agree with you. I think Marvin Lewis is done.
It's time for. I'm not saying he's never gonna coach in the NFL again.
He will get a job right away.
He will get a job again
right away.
But as far as Cincinnati,
the next guy that we're gonna talk about. I think he might get that job.
As far as Cincinnati, he's done. My next head coach I'm firing is Rex Ryan. His defense, I feel like Rex Ryan should be. As a defensive coordinator, Rex Ryan would be great. I feel like as a defensive coordinator, that is Rex Ryan's. That is his niche in the NFL. His brother, he hired his brother to be a defensive coordinator. His brother has probably never had an aspiration to be a head coach because he knows what he's good at.
He's not even a good defensive coordinator anymore.
Not anymore. But it's
he was like defensive coordinator of the Saints who had the worst defense in the history of the NFL last year or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, cause when Rex Ryan was in New York, when he was on the Jets, like that's when his defense was top notch. Like they went to
AFC title game 2 years in a row.
Two AFC title games
with the Sanchez.
And it's like, yeah, like everybody's like Mark Sanchez went to 2 AFC. No. He was dragged along by those Jets defenses that went to the AFC title. Like, and this this is what, year 3 in Buffalo?
Year 2.
Okay,
year
2 or 3. And he's probably not going to make most likely 9 times out of 10 not going to make the playoffs. This will be 6 straight years of Rex Ryan not in the playoffs, and him predicting this is the year we're going to win the Super Bowl and all this other nonsense. And this, like Rex Ryan out.
Okay, so real quick, Rex Ryan. Their offense has improved under Rex Ryan. They've gotten better, and I think they've been better this season than people probably thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. Like, this Buffalo team is a lot better than I thought they'd be. And Rex Ryan has a lot to do with the success of this team. I think he will be safe. But the next guy, Gus Bradley. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what is going on. Like, so you have a quarterback that was like, on the upswing, it seemed like last year, and he has 2 good receivers. He's got a good tight end. He's got a couple running backs, and he can't stop throwing picks. You keep throwing picks, and their defense isn't as good as people thought they'd be. Everybody thought that Jacksonville was going to compete to win this division this year, and they've been a joke. I can't imagine how you can keep Gus Bradley there. He's got to get fired.
He's got to go.
This team is underachieved in the way that
Jacksonville is the new Oakland that we just talked about. If you don't do good in your first 1 or 2 seasons.
No, but the real problem is the fact that they came into the season with such high expectations. Like with Oakland before, it was like, oh yeah, we're Oakland, we're not gonna be great. But Al Davis was just like a
senile.
Yeah, but they thought they were gonna compete for a division. Like they thought this was gonna be the year. It's gonna be the year for Jacksonville. The Jaguars. I mean, come on. They're gonna have that Byron Leftwich renaissance and make the playoffs and have a run at it.
Nope.
Or when they had Mark Brunell, it's gonna be like the second coming. And no,
they haven't been good since Mark Brunell because they
were okay with Byron Leftwich that one season.
They had
Mojo and they had Fred Taylor and they had Jimmy Smith.
Okay,
they were pretty good. Everybody thought they might beat the Patriots that year,
and they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't because
next on
but I think Marvin Lewis can get that job if he gets fired. And we both predict he's going to get fired from Cincinnati. I think he can be the next head coach of the Jaguars.
My next coach on my list is Chuck Pagano in Indy.
I sort of agree with you. I feel like whichever one of those 2 teams doesn't make the playoffs, like the Houston Texans or the
think
Colts,
Bill O'Brien is safe.
I think because he's the GM too. So and that Brock Weiler decided that looks like a colossal mistake. And I don't think you can make a mistake that big and keep your job.
We'll determine that if or not Houston doesn't make the playoffs.
If they don't make the playoffs, I think he's out. I think Chuck Pagano, they just signed him an extension, so he may be safe. But you have Andrew Luck. I think it's the GM that's in more hot water than Chuck Pagano.
Is that Grigson?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Pagano and Grigson, they don't get along.
No, they don't like each other at all.
No.
And Jim Irsay is not. He's a very volatile owner. He could.
I think he's up there with Jim Dolan.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, he's out there.
I mean, the thing is, and like you said, he's volatile. And Irsay knows that Pagano and Grigson don't see eye to eye.
But the thing is, you have Andrew Luck. This is Andrew Luck's prime. Andrew Luck is the best quarterback in the NFL. Potentially. Andrew Luck, he's getting killed. Andrew Luck is getting killed. You watch Andrew Luck, he's running for his life.
When Cutler first came to Chicago, it was the same thing. He got.
Yeah, I know. It's even now. It's still the same. Nothing's gotten better. Exactly the same.
He doesn't get hit as much. But Andrew, Cutler's first season in Chicago, he got sacked 62 times. I would love to see how many times Andrew Luck, that's just sacked. I'm not even talking hit. I just want to see how many, Andrew Luck getting hit has to be
up there.
In the hundreds, like at least.
Andrew Luck, yeah, but like you have no like you spent all this money to give Andrew Luck all this money, and then you're like, you obviously like you can't protect him worth a damn.
But if I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for a player getting that money, especially in the NFL.
Yeah, because contracts aren't guaranteed.
But if I'm Andrew Luck and I'm like, no, why are you like if I'm him and I'm all like, in the back of my head, I know every Sunday I'm liable to injury because my O-line can't protect me worth a damn.
So they took a bunch of money that could have gone elsewhere.
Exactly. So it's like if I'm Andrew Luck, like if I'm getting ready to get offered this contract, I'm all like, no, like don't like no, like put that money towards building me an offensive line, like.
I don't think that's the mindset players have, though. They don't really.
I mean, I'm not like, and especially in the NFL, it's not because, like you say, contracts aren't guaranteed. But at the same time, it's
especially since they're not guaranteed. If you get injured, like you're just gonna be out so much money. They could just cut you, and it'll be the end.
yeah. I mean,
let's not talk about Andrew Luck and his contract right now. But I do think that both of those guys, like Bill O'Brien and Chuck Pagano, I think we're both like I think they're both gonna get fired if they don't make the playoffs.
And the next coach on my list, I don't think he's fired, but he's definitely on the hot seat. Is Bruce Arians.
Totally agree. You have the Arizona Cardinals. They were supposed to compete for the Super Bowl. What happened? They have the same team.
They were actually Super Bowl favorites going into the season. So
what happened? Same team. Nothing changed. It's the same exact roster. Nobody left. Nobody went anywhere.
The only one that actually left was
they added a better.
Did Calais Campbell leave?
No, he's still there.
Okay.
They added what is it?
They had an old lineman leave.
I know that Bobby Massey.
There we go.
And they traded a backup lineman for a linebacker from
Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones.
You're right.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. And
how? What? Nothing's changed. All of a sudden, this team stinks all of a sudden.
And like I said, like he's not getting.
He's
fired.
gonna get fired.
He's not fired this year.
You were supposed to be a Super Bowl contender.
He's on.
You're not gonna make the playoffs.
He's on the hot seat.
Hopefully, Jay Cutler comes in there next year.
He's on the hot seat.
Jay Cutler's gonna come in there and save the day.
Another just like Arians, not fired but on the hot seat is Mike McCarthy.
I think he's out if they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, cause like it's. Not,
Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem happy.
Like this is a lot of shade and a lot of dirt has been thrown and uncovered on Aaron Rodgers this season, a lot more so than in previous seasons. And like Aaron Rodgers, like he's been labeled as a finger pointer and all this other stuff, but I'm all like, if my thing is, if he's been all this, like if teammates have come out, because Donald Driver, he played with Aaron Rodgers, and then Greg Jennings, he's played with Aaron Rodgers. So like you have two teammates that have played with this dude in the past decade, come out and say, like Aaron Rodgers rarely takes the blame for himself, like he does more finger pointing than accepting blame. What makes this year different? Is it because they're not winning this year?
Absolutely.
Like,
when Aaron Rodgers is winning games, everything gets swept under the rug. It's like anything else. Like when you're winning games, like nobody cares that like everything is bad. Like the players are all
internally everything is bad.
Yeah.
And the reason I say Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat is because like you said you have Aaron Rodgers who's gonna go down.
He's in his prime.
He's gonna go down.
Everybody thought Aaron Rodgers would have like a bunch of rings by now.
Yeah,
because he's that good.
He's like
he hasn't gone back to the Super Bowl even.
He's gonna go down as one of the greats. Like he's gonna go down as a top 5 or 10 QB ever.
Probably.
And for him to only have one Super Bowl ring.
And they've underachieved in the playoffs, and they get to the playoffs, and they just get spanked by the Giants or the 49ers.
And when you talk about
Seattle,
and we talk about the Cardinals, and the Packers are the same team too.
Well, they've had a lot of injuries. Their whole secondary is injured. They
has that stopped Aaron Rodgers from putting up numbers? He's 20.
Yeah, but like it's
he's
not,
20. He's only thrown 7 interceptions.
He doesn't have any running game. Like, he doesn't have a running game. Their number one running back is a wide receiver.
I'm hearing a bunch of excuses.
When you have a number one receiver as your running back,
I'm hearing a bunch of excuses that if this was not Aaron Rodgers, every quarterback wouldn't get these excuses.
Probably. You're probably right. But Aaron Rodgers gets the benefit of the doubt because
I'm
Aaron
not
Rodgers.
No, he gets no pass.
He's Aaron Rodgers, man. He gets the benefit.
And that's why he gets no pass.
And Mike McCarthy's going to...
He's not just Aaron Rodgers. He's Aaron bleeping Rodgers.
Mike McCarthy's going to feel the pain when he's fired.
He gets no pass. I don't
know who's going to replace him, but somebody fun will.
I don't either.
It'll be fun.
And I don't. Third coach on the hot seat is Todd Bowles.
Gone.
I don't
Fired.
think he's gone.
Fired.
Don't think he's gone.
Defense is terrible. Fought for Ryan Fitzmagic. Not working out. But the defense has gotten to they haven't lost anybody on their defense, right? It's the same dominant defense that it was last year. What happened? What happened? 41 points. They let the Colts score 41 on you.
Well, Cromartie,
Darrelle Revis.
Cromartie's gone.
Okay.
Darrelle Revis is old.
He's not that much older than he was last year.
Well, he's old.
What about Leonard Williams? What about Leonard Williams being dominant?
That's the only bright spot.
He's been terrible this year.
Build around
Sheldon
him.
Richardson. Muhammad Wilkerson. What happened with these guys?
They're old too.
They're not that old. What are you talking about? They're pretty young guys. What happened? The defense just gets terrible. The offense. What about the offense? Fitzmagic?
Hackenberg ain't the answer. I know that.
Oh, yes, he is, dude.
He's not.
Yeah, he is, dude. You can watch, dude.
He's not.
He's going to have so much fun, dude, watching him next year.
No, I think,
Wait until you get to watch him.
No.
He's going to be so much fun, dude.
So, you remember last time we were together, I was saying, how the Rooney Rule is, kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And, if Todd Bowles gets fired, and after 2 seasons, 10-6 his first year. He went 10-6 his first year. It was a win to go home situation, and
they went home.
Fitzpatrick choked.
Fitzmagic.
He choked. He bet on him he choked.
And then he bet on Fitzmagic being able to find that lightning again.
And it didn't. Well, he spent the entire summer holding out, looking for a contract, and you can't as an NFL quarterback, you can't just walk into training camp if the clock's about to strike midnight. You can't walk in at 11:59 and expect everything.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a little harsh because it's basically the same roster. Like, you basically had this rapport with all those players. I don't
the
think,
only new addition
I don't think the whole
the only new addition is Forte and Eric Decker. He's been out
basically the entire season.
Basically the entire season. And last season, Eric Decker was a go-to guy for Fitzpatrick, because last season, the first time that you had 2 duo receivers have I don't know how many touchdowns they had, but
10 each, 1,000 yards,
something like that.
But I think
because at the time, if I'm the Jets, if I'm facing the Jets, and the only 2 offensive weapons I have to worry about is Brandon Marshall and a quote-unquote old Matt Forte at running back coming out of the backfield, losing Eric Decker that's huge. And
I'm not going to argue with you the fact that yes, that has an impact.
And your tight end your tight end position ain't I don't even know who the tight
Kellen
end.
Davis, maybe.
He's still playing.
Yeah. No, I just
Cumberland. I don't. Jeremy. No.
Cumberland's hurt. Todd Bowles. I just think because of the regression of that defense. I just think he looks like somebody, when I watch him on the sidelines on Monday, dude, he looks like somebody who wants to get fired. He's just this is horrible. I need to get out of here. Please just give me sweet release.
Okay.
He looks like Eric Mangini when he was the coach of the Browns.
Eric Mangini was not a good coach.
When he was the coach of the Browns that one season, and they would show pictures of him on the sidelines, and he looked miserable.
And You know this. I listen to a lot of shows on ESPN, especially when late at night when I'm at work, because I can't watch them during the day, and they literally compared effort when it came to the Cleveland Browns team and this New York Jets team. After Monday, they talked about the Cleveland Browns, they go out and they know they're gonna lose, but
they play hard.
It's the fact that they have outside of the New England game, and I can't really think of another one. How many times has Cleveland been blown out
they've been considerably close in a lot of games, but I don't know.
And this is with
Todd Bowles doesn't seem to have the ability to motivate his players the way like you would have hoped for. He reminds me a lot of like Lovie Smith. He's like the same kind of demeanor. They kind of look alike a little bit.
That's just okay. No, I'm not gonna go there.
But like they seem to have the same demeanor. I don't think he struggles with motivating his players a little bit.
Like I said, I think he's on the hot seat. I don't think he is fired. That's my list.
I got one more that you didn't mention. Mike McCoy. The Chargers have underachieved basically since Philip Rivers has been there. like straight up. Like they should be. Philip Rivers should have a ring, and the fact that he doesn't. Is,
All right. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna implement a little true false.
What about Mike McCoy? You don't think Mike McCoy gets fired?
Don't really know. I mean, it's kind of hard for him to like especially in that AFC West, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got KC,
Denver, Oakland,
twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
but you have the when you look at those four teams, who has the best quarterback?
right.
It's still Philip Rivers. It's still Philip Rivers.
Well, Derek Carr's coming into his own now.
It's Philip Rivers.
Denver's quarterback.
Philip Rivers.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Are you gonna agree with me at some point?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
If I had to, well, because Derek Carr is just now coming into his own, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna hold off on him as calling him the best QB in the division. Denver lost. They lost Peyton Manning, so they're out of the conversation completely. So it's literally between Rivers and Alex Smith.
Come on.
No, that's serious.
Yeah, I understand, but when you Alex Smith and Philip Rivers,
yeah,
how can you? There's like Philip Rivers.
Okay.
Philip Rivers is really good.
So is Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is a very nice player.
Alex Smith is a good quarterback.
He's all right. He's not Philip Rivers good.
And what is Philip Rivers good? What is that? Not making the playoffs?
He throws for a lot of yards.
Okay.
And he gets fiery. He's a fiery guy.
Wow.
And he hates Jay Cutler.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's not alone in that.
Everybody in Chicago hates Jay Cutler.
I don't.
I don't hate Jay Cutler. I do at times. I hate him on Sundays, but Monday I'm usually over it.
I don't hate Jay Cutler. I think Jay Cutler's got a bad rap in Chicago, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so did you hear what Jerry Jones said?
What did he say?
Okay.
About Tony Romo? Keeping around just in case Dak Prescott gets hurt?
No, he's like I believe Tony Romo was going to get a chance sooner or later to play this season.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Why would you say things like that?
All right, so
Jerry Jones, are you kidding? Like
okay, just.
Their offensive line is very good.
Their offensive line is good, but somehow Tony Romo still manages to get hurt.
Dak Prescott gets
like. Don't get me wrong. Like they've had the same offensive line for how long?
2 seasons, pretty much.
2 or 3. Like they went 12-4. What year did they go 12-4?
They didn't have this offensive line, but it was
It was still pretty good, right?
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray still led the league in rushing. All that good noise. The catch that wasn't a catch that was a catch. Anyway, but Tony Romo. They historically since the Roger Staubach days and on so forth, Dallas has been known for 2 things. An offensive line, 3 things. An offensive line, a really good running back, and Jerry Jones.
What about a good receiver? I mean,
Irvin.
I mean, they didn't have a...
Irvin, outside of Michael
Dez
Irvin
Bryant.
and Dez Bryant, who's been a good receiver for
TTO.
Outside of those 3, really?
I don't... Yeah, you're right.
But, and everybody knows this. I just need Jerry Jones to just be a grown man, come out and say it, because right now he's looking senile like Al Davis.
Let's not throw Al Davis under the bus so much.
Jerry Jones.
We love Al Davis here at the Triangle.
Jerry Jones just needs to come out and say it. I wish Tony Romo was leading this team instead of Dak Prescott. He just needs to come out and say it because deep down, it hurts him that the Cowboys are 11-1 and Tony Romo has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like when he gave him all that money, he's like, "Oh, Tony Romo's gonna get there." Like, no,
He has done absolutely nothing. He has absolutely nothing to hang his hat on. That the Cowboys are 11-1. He's like, that's it. Like, dude.
The funny thing is, like, no, you talk like Dak Prescott gets barely touched. Like Tony Romo, with the same amount of why cannot stay healthy to save
he
his life.
somehow manages to get healthy. He somehow manages to get hurt. Still.
Like, how? Like Dak Prescott doesn't ever gets touched. Like you never anywhere near him.
I don't think Dak Prescott been sacked 10 times this season. Like the most I've seen him get sacked was that it was a Thursday night against Minnesota.
He's gonna get sacked a lot this week. The Giants are gonna get him.
I think so. And then, like, of course, when they go to the playoffs, he's gonna get sacked a lot more because those teams like
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. He might see the Giants again. He
might see the Lions.
He might see the Lions.
Yeah, the mighty Lions.
Anyway, that's Jerry Jones. Like, I'm just gonna need Jerry Jones to be a grown man and say, "Yo, I wish Tony Romo was leading the charge."
You know who else might be senile, losing it? Mark Cuban. He is the worst team in the NBA right now, right?
And he said he
still doesn't think that Russell Westbrook's a superstar with his worst team in the NBA.
In the words of Kevin Durant, he's an idiot.
Like, why you talk so much? Like, did you see? Like, they took like a video. Like, he looked like he hadn't slept in a few days. Like, they had him like on.
Well, his team's like 3-15.
They have
like
4 wins. Let's not be
okay,
disrespectful.
4-15.
They
4-16. Whatever.
They have a high payroll. They paid Harrison Barnes a bunch of money to come there. That's working out great. By the
So
way.
great.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, Dirk is on his last leg.
He hasn't played in like a month.
Like, Dirk should just hang him up. Like,
he should hang him up. He should retire. This is sad to watch. His twilight go on like this. They should trade him somewhere.
and do what?
Trade Dirk to Golden State.
For what? He won't even play there.
Yeah, he will.
Oh, he won't.
Yes, he will, dude. He'll be like that stretch 5 they need.
Anyway, true or false, Jerry Jones will be the reason that the Cowboys don't win
Not false.
a Super Bowl.
False.
By him,
100% false.
By him trying to put Tony Romo back in.
No.
Like, he is so adamant on getting Tony Romo back in. He is
no.
like every day.
False.
Like
super false. As false as anything's ever been.
Like, I see why. I see why.
Jerry Jones should not even go to the games. Like, he should just leave the team alone.
No. That's not. That's definitely not gonna happen.
Don't even talk. I'm gonna plead the 5th.
I see why the Cowboys are called America's team now, because when they win, they're all people talk about. When they lose, they're all people talk about. And when they're completely irrelevant, Jerry Jones will find a way to put the Cowboys in the news. Like, no one's even thinking about. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, this upcoming like, they have a big game coming up against
the Giants.
Is it the Giants? Or tomorrow. And then they got a big game coming up against the Giants. So people are going to talk about that because the Giants are the only team that has beaten Dallas this season. And but it's like, dude, if you're Jerry Jones, just leave the quarterback situation alone. Like, you don't don't get me wrong.
Why does he even why does he need to comment about it all
the thing
time?
is, like, I understand, like, he's pretty much been lamenting at it all season, but it's like early on, I understand, like, the first 5 weeks, I get it. Still early, things can happen in the first 5 weeks. You still got 11 more weeks to go.
But at this point,
let it go.
Like, Dak Prescott's not going anywhere. Like, he's been everything you could want.
I'm really curious as to what's gonna happen this offseason. Like, I'm bypassing the playoffs, Super Bowl. I am looking forward to the Dallas Cowboys offseason when everybody comes back and, like, now you really got a problem.
They're gonna trade Tony Romo away before that even becomes a thing. There's no way you can keep him on the roster as long as Jerry Jones is gonna have, like, this much of an attachment to him.
But it's like
I don't like why. Like, I don't like. Jerry Jones feels like Tony Romo's like his son. Like, I want my son. I want my son to get through this. I want him to be the one that leads us. And, like, it can't be anybody else.
That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm telling you, it's sad that, like, he wishes that Tony Romo was leading
That's
the charge.
because Tony, you gave Tony Romo all that money, and then he kept saying Tony Romo was the guy. Tony Romo was the guy. Tony Romo, even if he got hurt every season, he's like, oh, he's gonna.
He's been hurt 3 years in a row now.
Tony Romo loves to get hurt.
3 years in a row.
Poor Tony Romo.
Poor Tony Romo.
Let's move on to some matchups for next week. Run through it. Thursday night, Rams in Seattle. What a terrible game. Seattle.
Even though the Rams have found a way to
beat Seattle.
And be competitive with Seattle, I'm still going Seattle.
The Rams. Jared Goff's going to have a bad time.
He's going to have a bad, it's going to be a long afternoon.
A long evening.
Long evening.
Jared Goff's going to have the Jets in Miami.
Dolphins.
I guess. Both these teams are just done. I mean, the Dolphins no, they're done.
The Dolphins have a chance.
No.
They have a chance.
No, they don't.
Denver has to keep losing.
Cleveland and Buffalo.
Cleveland.
Buffalo.
This is the game.
I think they're going to win a game this week.
This is the game.
I think they're going to beat Cincinnati.
They're going to go back to back. They go.
Detroit and the Giants. I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm taking the Giants.
Philly and Baltimore. Ravens.
Philly. Carson Wentz is looking like a rookie.
Yeah, he's regressed a little bit.
And their head coach is looking like he's making rookie head coach mistakes. So, yeah, Baltimore.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh. Indianapolis at Minnesota. Indianapolis.
Minnesota.
Okay. Green Bay and Chicago. I'll take the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears.
like
plain spoiler.
Just to play. Yeah. Gotta play spoiler. I don't.
Tennessee at Kansas City. I'm taking the Titans.
KC.
I think that'll be a good game.
That's gonna be a good one.
Jacksonville and Houston.
Jacksonville. I swear to God, what is wrong with you?
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Oh my God.
It's Gus Bradley's final stand.
Gus Bradley, if this is your final stand, you might as well pack up your office right now.
Gus Bradley's they're gonna get one and ruin the Texans season.
Losing.
New Orleans and Arizona. Arizona, I guess.
Arizona's at home.
Yeah.
Drew Brees.
Okay, well, I'm going to take Arizona. I think David Johnson's going to have a big game. Really big game.
Against that defense, yeah. But
Yeah.
Drew Brees.
San Francisco and Atlanta.
Who's starting for the 49ers?
Colin Kaepernick. At least he is this week.
Yeah, Atlanta.
I don't think it doesn't matter who starts for them. New England and Denver.
Color me golden.
I'll take Denver.
Oh, you.
That defense is good. Very good defense.
So what?
New England doesn't have Gronk.
Okay.
Martellus Bennett isn't 100%.
Still there.
And they have Deion Lewis, though. I do like Deion Lewis.
And Denver's running back, they have a problem covering. Denver's linebackers, they have a problem covering running backs.
And Deion Lewis should have a good game for my fantasy team. Oakland and San Diego, Chargers.
Mike McCoy's last stand?
No, he's gonna have another stand.
Oakland.
I think that'd be a good game. But Tampa Bay at Dallas.
Tampa Bay's hot.
Sunday night.
Tampa Bay's hot.
Yeah.
But
Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys. That offensive line is just
the stage is gonna be too bright for Jameis in this one.
I have a hard time believing that. He won a national championship.
That's college. That don't mean nothing. That's not this.
And he had that game where he beat the Panthers on Thursday night.
It's the Panthers.
Panthers are coming off the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You think Ron Rivera gets fired?
Hot seat.
He's on the hot seat?
Hot seat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Cause think about it, he's been there since he stopped being the DC in Chicago.
San Diego.
You're right. And then he's been there for
Riverboat Ron. That's his nickname.
Okay. Like he's been there for a minute, and he's had success since Cam Newton's got there, but outside of the Super Bowl season,
they've been pretty. Yeah,
they've been mediocre at best.
I wouldn't surprise if that Tygate thing actually gets him fired.
Oh, Tygate. Okay. So apparently, like, that was just a scapegoat. Apparently, because they had the West Coast road trip. Like, apparently Cam Newton broke curfew.
Oh.
So that's
They just blamed it on the tie.
Yeah. So like that's really what it, I think that's really what it was, like, because him and a few teammates went out and
They drank all night.
I don't know what they did, but they broke curfew. And Brian Rivera, like, if I'm gonna suspend the rest of those guys, I gotta discipline you in some type of way, because you get.
But to blame it on the tie,
and to blame it on the tie, that's just ridiculous, because like you said, like I said, they spent the last few games on the West Coast, and then so they had their clothes, the rest of their clothes, shipped back to Carolina, so they just went to Seattle with an overnight bag, and Cam Newton didn't pack a tie for that game, and
yeah, but if it's team rules to have a tie on.
But the thing is though, the
whole situation's just ridiculous.
But the thing is though, I'm pretty sure like last season they went 15-1. Pretty sure there was some games Cam Newton walked in, he didn't have a tie on. Well,
when you're winning, you get away with a lot more.
Exactly. So that's the one thing I don't understand. Like if you're winning and you're gonna knock stuff off, like, yo, you're not wearing the tie. Well, oh, that's all right. We're undefeated. I don't care. But if you're 4-7, hey, you're not wearing the tie. You're not playing the first half of the game.
You don't get to play the first snap.
You don't get to play the first snap of the game.
And Derek Anderson comes in.
No, you don't.
The whole situation's just so funny. Like, you suspend him for the first play. Derek Anderson comes in.
Over a tie. Over a tie. Like, no, that's not how you. No. God, no. But, no.
Hey, Carolina and Washington.
I'm going Washington.
Yeah, Carolina's, they're not any good.
And, yeah, Washington, like, I think, I'm not saying that Josh Norman was the reason their defense was stout, but
he had one good season.
He did. I get that, but at the same time, he
hasn't been that good this season either.
It's that corner name that you always acknowledge.
Namdi Asamoah?
Yeah.
I love Namdi Asamoah. I'm glad we got a shout out for Namdi Asamoah here at the Triangle. We love you here.
I mean, that's what I'm giving. I'm giving that to Josh Norman, because like it's
what? Give him what to?
Like the Asamoah effect. Like
how is the Asamoah effect?
Think about it.
Namdi Asamoah, we check their best receiver every game.
Every down.
Yeah.
Not. Can't talk.
He lined up across from the best receiver every single snap.
Well,
Josh Norman doesn't do that. He only takes one side of the field.
He's not that type of. Deion Lewis.
Like, we're not talking about it. Like
prime time, the only time prime time covered the team's best receiver was when it was like Jerry Rice. Other than that, it was the same thing with Deion Sanders.
If you get paid a lot of money, you should shut down the best receiver.
It was the same thing with Deion Sanders. Whatever side of the field Deion Sanders was on, you're not throwing to that side of the field.
That's basically what happened with Asamoah.
And it's the same thing with Josh Norman.
But he's had people. He's been beat a few times.
A few.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Deion Sanders never got beat.
Namdi Asamoah didn't get beat that much. At least as a Raider. I think he only had 5 completed passes against him one season. 5.
Did he win Defensive Player of the Year that year?
No. The Raiders weren't any good.
Oh,
damn. We love you, Namdi Asamoah. Don't listen to this hater.
I'm not hating on Namdi.
Sounds like it.
No. Like, I think the worst decision Namdi ever made was going to Philly.
Yeah, if he had stayed on the Raiders, he would have been.
If he stayed in Oakland, he probably would have
still be in the league.
Maybe.
But he's married to Kerry Washington. He's
gonna
be fine.
Life is fine. Is he a Hall of Famer?
No, hell no.
Not even?
No, not even close. Are you kidding me?
Hey.
0 chance.
I wouldn't say 0.
No, 0. 0. Wow. Malcolm Butler has a better chance of making the Hall of Fame.
Well, Malcolm Butler has one of them things.
Yeah, and he's got a signature play. All right, that's enough. We love you, Namdi Asamoah, but you're not going to the Hall of Fame. We want to wish everybody happy holidays and a happy New Year here from the Triangle. Anything you want to add?
Let's see. Jerry Jones, stop messing with your young QB's head. Like, this is the best thing you've had going for you in a long time. Like, not since the catch that wasn't the catch that should have been the catch. Like, not since that season. Like, Yeah, just leave it alone. Like no one expected Dallas to be 11-1 without Tony Romo. Like everyone, no one expected Dak to be what he's doing. Like everyone pretty much expected Zeke to be Zeke. No one expected Dak to be 11-1, and that's the credit of being like a 4th round draft pick, especially at QB. Like expectations aren't that high.
He's playing with house money.
Exactly, kind of like with Russell Wilson when he was a 3rd round quarterback.
Yeah, he's playing with house money.
Like my thing about like especially like as a quarterback, like especially if you're a quarterback, like if you're not a first or even a 2nd round QB, like expectations are not that high.
The pressure on him was so much less than Jared Goff.
Oh my God, or even Carson Wentz for that matter.
No, I think no Jared Goff. Because Carson Wentz I don't know, it's Carson Wentz because he was like. Carson he was like thrown into it like kind of last minute. Like all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, you're gonna start."
Look, because they traded.
Yeah, Sam Bradford, and he was injured. He didn't play in the preseason. But Jared Goff's been around.
And Carson Wentz came out like he got out. Like Philly got out to a great start, and that was all due to the play of Carson Wentz. Yeah. But we all lamented to it like, hey, eventually the rookie's gonna come back crashing down. And people say that about Dak, and it really hasn't happened.
Well, he's not asked to do as much as Carson Wentz was. Or
as to do, and it helps that Dak has a running game.
It helps that he has the best offensive line in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, and it helps that he has a 2-headed monster that he can like Zeke and then Alfred
Morris, and they have McFadden.
Is he coming back?
I don't know. He hasn't played this season. I don't think
you need him.
I love Darren McFadden sometimes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's solid run. He's been a solid running back most of his career.
No, he hasn't been. He's been hurt most of his career.
Well, that's not his fault. Like he spent time in Oakland. Like give him Oakland's offensive line now. When he was in Oakland, he would have been phenomenal.
We'll see. Darren McFadden, he caused me a lot of problems in my life. All right.
But Jerry Jones, leave Dak alone. Let him be him.
I think if you're Jerry Jones, you just like go on vacation for the rest of the season. Like don't even like go to like Bermuda, and then come back.
Disappear. Disappear. Be out of sight, out of sound. Like all that, however that phrase goes. Like just.
But in all reality, I hope that Jerry Jones keeps meddling with stuff. I think it's hilarious.
Yes, because
it's funny. It's so funny.
You say it's false. I guarantee it. I guarantee Jerry Jones will be.
I never said it was false.
Yes, you did. You just said it like 10 minutes ago.
What?
I said true or false. Jerry Jones will be the reason the Cowboys don't win.
No, I think
you said false.
Yeah, false. I don't think he'll be the reason, but I do think his meddling is funny.
His meddling will be the reason they lose.
No,
so it's true.
No,
yes,
it has nothing to do with their on-field performances. Nothing. It's like his running his mouth and talking doesn't have anything to do with the actual play on the field.
It's a distraction. It is a huge distraction.
I think it's only a distraction in the media. I think Jason Garrett's like, listen, Jason Garrett probably has a practice. He hears like Jerry Jones say something ridiculous. He probably goes to Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. It's like, listen, just ignore Jerry Jones. Like he's just.
You really think
he's a maniac?
You think Jason Garrett's gonna do that?
Yeah, he already did it. I bet he's already done that.
Think he's doing that?
He's calling up, Dak Prescott. Be like, listen, he's just gonna talk.
Like truth be told, if I understand like this is the end of the show. And like if I'm Dak Prescott and I hear this dude, like if I hear the owner talking like this and. Like I understand, like I don't want to. Like I've earned my right to keep the starting job.
Mm-hmm. But if Tony Romo's basically said you can have it.
But if you're so adamant that Tony Romo can do this, and Jerry Jones pretty much said Tony Romo is better than Dak Prescott. That's pretty much what he said.
Well, I mean, he probably is right now.
Then put him in there. Let's see how far they get. 11-1, they should be set. 11-1 should be all right for Tony Romo to come back and
that'll be fun, dude.
I don't know.
Tony Romo ruin everything.
Lose in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, a fumble with use a kick a field goal and fumble to snap.
Yeah, again.
Peace out, everyone from the Triangle. Happy holidays, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Peace out.